I'd like to call the Gurnee Village Board regular meeting of March 5th, 2018 to order. Roll call, please, Andy.
Garner.
Here.
Balmas.
Present.
Hood.
Here.
Thorstensen.
Here.
Jacobs.
Here.
Ross.
Here.
6 present.
All present. Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation
Under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right. Welcome. Doug, you're the only public today. All right. So we do have public comment on the agenda, but I guess we'll make that short. But you'll have another opportunity at the end of the meeting. So I'm going to move on to the approval of the consent agenda as presented. Do I have a motion to approve? Motion by Trustee
Second.
Jacobs, second by Trustee Garner. Roll call, please, Andy.
Garner.
Aye.
Balmas.
Aye.
Hood.
Yes.
Thorstensen.
Yes.
Jacobs.
Aye.
Ross.
Aye.
6 aye.
Motion carries. Patrick, please read the consent agenda into the record.
Item number 1, approval of the minutes from the February 19, 2018 Village Board meeting. Item number 2, approval of ordinance 2018-17, approving the plats of easements which grant utility easements to the Village of Gurnee at 1701 through 1761 Dailies Road. Item number 3, approval of resolution 2018-02, approving a contract with Dynegy Energy Services for the provisions of electricity for pump stations. And number 4, approval of awarding Fire Station 1's apparatus garage door replacement project to the low bidder, American Door and Dock, at a cost of $64,150.
The red one.
Item number 5, approval of awarding the Almond Road Water Main Crossing project to the low bidder, Lena Excavating Contractors, Inc., at a cost of $84,504.86. Item number 6, approval of awarding the Village Hall to Fire Station 1 fiber installation project to the low bidder, Western Utility, LLC, at a cost of $121,070.05. Item number 7, approval of request from Utility Division to waive the formal bidding requirement and to purchase 50 1-inch water meters and 150 remote readers from Midwest Meter, Inc. at a cost of $27,737.50, sole source supplier for Midwest region. Item number 8, approval of request to allow Economic Development Director Ellen Dean to attend the International Council of Shopping Centers Recon in Las Vegas, Nevada from May 20th through the 23rd, 2018 at a cost not to exceed $2,000. Item number 9, approval of payroll for period ending February 16, 2018 in the amount of $824,610.22. Item number 10, approval of bills for period ending March 5th, 2018 in the amount of $688,560.68.
Thank you, Patrick. Do I have a motion to approve the consent agenda as read into the record? Motion by Trustee Balmas, second by Trustee Garner. Roll call, please, Andy.
Garner.
Aye.
Balmas.
Aye.
Hood.
Yes.
Thorstensen.
Yes.
Jacobs.
Aye.
Ross.
Aye.
6 aye.
All right. Motion carries. We'll move on to petitions and communications. The first is a proclamation for Women's History Month. During Women's History Month, we reflect on both the struggles and the extraordinary accomplishments of women and honor their role in shaping the course of our nation's history. And American women of every culture, class, and ethnic background have made historic contributions to the growth and strength of our nation in countless recorded and unrecorded ways. And American women have played and continue to play a critical economic, cultural, and social role in every sphere of life by constituting a significant portion of the labor force working inside and outside of the home, as well as the majority of the volunteer labor force. And American women have been leaders not only in securing their own rights of suffrage and equal opportunity, but also in the abolitionist movement, the emancipation movement, the industrial labor movement, the civil rights movement, and other movements, especially the peace movement, which sought to create a more fair and just society for all. And despite these contributions, the role of American women in history have been consistently overlooked and undervalued in the literature, teaching, and study of American history. And the Village desires to join other communities and organizations across the nation in recognizing the unique contributions and accomplishments of American women. Now, therefore, I, Christina Kavarik, Mayor of the Village of Gurnee, do hereby proclaim that March 2018 will be designated as Women's History Month in the Village of Gurnee. Do I have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Motion by trustee Jacobs, second by trustee Garner. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All right. That's our only petitions and communications. Any reports?
Not tonight.
And we have no old business?
Correct.
So we're going to move right into new business. The first is item number 1, approval of ordinance 2018, granting a special use permit to allow additional wall signs pursuant to the Gurnee zoning ordinance for 5455 Route 132.
Sure. So you had a memo from our associate planner, Clara Schaff, on this. The petitioner was before the Planning and Zoning Board a couple times, once in January, once in February, to request a special use permit to allow 3 additional wall signs on her building located at 5455 Grand Avenue. She owns, the petitioner, Ms. Summercorn, owns one of the 3 buildings that are in this complex called Spruce Park. It's there at the southwest corner of Spruce and Grand Avenue, so up there by the Speedway. She has the most southern building on the site, so she doesn't have frontage on Grand Avenue, and it's divided into 6 tenant suites. It's allowed 3 wall signs. She's requesting an additional 3 wall signs for a total of 6, so that each of those tenant suites would have signage on the building. First time around, the PZB instructed her to go back and research whether there was some other options for signage to identify these tenants, which she did. She looked at directory sign option and freestanding sign options, and those just aren't feasible and don't work, so she was back before the Planning and Zoning Board with those results and to continue to request the 3 additional signs. The commitments that she made before the Planning and Zoning Board are outlined here in your memo. I'll run through them quick. All signs will be constructed of individually mounted white plastic letters, be 8 inches tall and uppercase, non-illuminated. I'll use the same font. The area of all 6 signs will not exceed the area permitted. For the 3 wall signs are allowed by right, so they'll be redistributing that square footage, but still stay within what's allowed by right. Then the locations, 2 signs on the east wall, centered above each set of the windows, and 4 on the north wall with 2 centered above each of the east and west windows. So following additional discussions before the Planning and Zoning Board, they're forwarding a unanimous favorable recommendation for this request, and it is ready for your consideration. There are some illustrations attached to your memo that show you what the signs would look like, as well as the information from the public hearing.
That seems very fair with the redistribution. Good compromise. Questions from the trustees?
Make a motion to approve. Second.
Motion by trustee Ballmer, second by trustee Thorstenson. Roll call, please, Andy.
Garner.
Aye.
Balmus.
Aye.
Hood.
Yes.
Thorstenson.
Yes.
Jacobs.
Aye.
Ross.
Aye.
All right,
6 ayes.
motion carries. Are you Linda? Okay. Congratulations. It's all approved. Did you want to say something? No. Okay. All right. Thank you. All right. Motion carries. So item number 2, approval of ordinance 2018-19, authorizing the Village of Gurnee, Lake County, Illinois, to borrow funds from the Illinois Environmental Protection Agency through the Public Water Supply Loan Program.
Yeah, so Brian's going to run through the highlights of this again. It's what we've talked about, but just for a reminder.
Sure. So we talked about this a few times now. The loan program is currently 1.76%. That changes every July 1st, so we'll be locked in at that rate for a term of 20 years. What the board is authorizing tonight is the full consultant estimate of $7,018,000. Staff engineering estimate is about 6.5. Pat's estimate is less than that. We'll take draws up to the last $1.5 million. The last $1.5 million will be taken from water and sewer fund reserves based on our conversation at the capital plan discussion. The principal and interest payment will be around $300,000, and we did budget for the additional payment of $200,000 annually, or this year. Hopefully, do that annually. First payment, if it starts in 2019, the last payment will be in 2030. So we bring that term from 20 to 11 down with those additional payments. And I'd be happy to answer any questions on
So it's still a 20-year amort, but with the extra principal payment each year, we'd pay it off in 11
Correct.
years.
Correct.
Okay, but that additional principal payment would be up to the board each year.
Be budgeted every year, correct?
Okay, that's fair. There could be years that's rough. Questions from the board?
I'll make a motion to approve. Second.
Motion, do you have a question? I have a motion, and a motion from trustee Ballmer, second from trustee Jacobs. Questions from the board?
Just one quick question. I was looking through the legal paperwork, and it talks about the loan agreement, but I know we talked about this in advance. I just wanted to confirm that we do not have any prepayment penalties.
That's correct. We had Scott and I got a conference call with bond counsel, ran through all those questions with them, and that was the direction we got, correct?
Okay, thank you.
All right, so roll call, please, Andy.
Garner.
Aye.
Balmus.
Aye.
Hood.
Yes.
Thorstenson.
Yes.
Jacobs.
Aye.
Ross.
Aye.
6 aye.
Motion carries, and we're finally going to build a water tower. All right. Item number 3, approval of ordinance 2018-20, amending Chapter 10, Article 2, Section 10-33 of the Village of Gurnee Municipal Code as it relates to amusement tax. Patrick.
Yeah, so this is, we've talked about this a couple times now. This is the adjustment in the amusement tax rate from 3% to 4%, effective May 1. We've talked to the major tax players in town, so they're aware of it. This just simply swaps out that percentage in the municipal code.
And when was the last time we raised the amusement tax?
It hasn't been adjusted in 20 years.
20 years. Wow. All right, and the major players are Six Flags, Marcus,
Those are the two big ones. Those two.
Bittersweet a little bit.
Bittersweet's got a
with
little
the
bit.
golf.
There's some other smaller ones, like the Escape Room, Jump America, those.
Yeah.
But it's
Six Flags.
Six Flags and the movie theater, the two major players.
All right, any questions from the trustee Thorstenson?
Patrick, I think when we had that original hearing meeting, and some of the hotel managers or owners were questioning the tax just north of us so that we wouldn't be losing out to those. I think you came back with us and gave us that information, and I thought the lowest tax was maybe 8%?
Yeah, on the hotel tax side, when we looked over the border, up in, the Racine, Kenosha, right, it's 8% in Wisconsin. So, and we'll be at 6 for the hotel tax.
And we have found that most amusement parks do have a tax. Now, it's not always a municipal tax. It can be a county tax, but it's not unusual for there to be an amusement tax because most cities and counties are supporting these venues. But yeah, the only one that we got numbers on was the hotel tax. All right, so this is just amusement tax right now. Other questions from the trustees? All right, do I have a motion to approve? Motion by trustee Jacobs, second by trustee Ross. Roll call, please, Andy.
Garner.
Aye.
Balmus.
Aye.
Hood.
Yes.
Thorstenson.
Yes.
Jacobs.
Aye.
Ross.
Aye.
6 aye.
All right, motion carries. Item number 4, approval of ordinance 2018-21, amending Chapter 74, Article 6, Section 74-152, parentheses A, of the Gurnee Municipal Code as it relates to the hotel or motel occupancy tax.
Sure, so this is on the hotel tax side, taking it from 5% to 6%. This one hasn't been adjusted in over 30 years. We did do a survey of other surrounding communities, and this is where, right in the ballpark where Illinois is at. And as I said earlier, Wisconsin is higher, so.
And just for the record, I stayed in Washington, D.C. last week. It was 15% hotel tax. I've been checking my hotel bills just to make sure that we're always under those. All right, questions from the board? And again, we have notified all of our major hotels, the Holiday Inn, Great Wolf being the two biggest ones, and the smaller operators. Everyone's been given plenty of notice, encouraged to come to meetings, contact us. and they actually recognize why we're doing it, and it is a good source of funding for economic development, which they all seem to be happy that we're going to continue to invest in those kind of things for the community. Questions?
No, I don't have a
Trustee
question.
Jacobs?
But it's more of a statement along the lines of the taxes we're imposing. I've talked it over with Brian and with Patrick a few times. I think it's worth looking into, and maybe Brian Winters could look into it for us as well. It's along the lines of a parking tax, and it would only apply to parking lots that charge to park in a lot. The city of Chicago does it, but it's a tax that applies to paid parking lots and associations that charge for a valet service. And there's a tax that's imposed. I believe we should look into it as an additional means of revenue. You know, there may not be many lots in town that do
It's only
this.
one.
Yes, but, you know, because that one lot does take away potential sources of revenue, and I don't fault them for it. I believe it's a way that they drive up income by having season passes, but it also limits their income by having season passes. But they also have that, they limit their parking revenue by throwing their parking revenue into that season pass parking revenue as well. If that parking revenue is not taxed, that's additional revenue that's also lost out. So if we look at that City of Chicago parking ordinance, it might be an additional way to generate some revenue here that we might be losing out on.
All right, so noted.
I make a motion to approve.
Second.
Motion by trustee Ballmer, second by trustee Jacobs. Roll call, please.
Garner. Aye. Thomas.
Aye.
Hood.
Yes.
Thorstenson.
Yes.
Jacobs.
Aye.
Ross.
Aye.
6 aye.
Motion carries. All right, and we'll do another round of communications, just so everybody knows the May 1st.
Yeah.
Okay. I was thinking of Brian with collections. All right, public comment? Got somebody joined you, Doug. All right, if there's no public comment, then do I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second.
Motion by trustee Balmas, second by trustee Jacobs. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All right.